Hello investors, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you how $500 is more than enough in order for you to go ahead and get started with investing, and it's also more than enough in order for you to receive some decent returns. Welcome to Push Investments. For those of you new here, I'm that guy that started off this portfolio with only $65. I made a commitment to myself to go ahead and add $250 every single month in order to grow this portfolio consistently over time. After I did that, I went ahead and set this portfolio on autopilot, meaning the money that comes into the portfolio, it automatically gets reinvested into stocks of my choosing. Now, if you are new to investing, I would highly advise that you do not choose stocks. You go ahead and get involved into what's known as ETF or exchange traded funds. If you are new to trading and you don't have a broker yet, then it'd be a good opportunity for you to go ahead and use the brokers that I use, and those are going to be down in the description below. Now, before I go ahead and get this video started to show you the growth that the portfolio has gotten since its inception from December, I'm going to go ahead and give a roundup of how the portfolio is doing thus far. So, for those of you new here, welcome. Now, for the day, the portfolio has been down roughly around $6, which represents a 0.41% down, which is not too bad. That's just representation of one day. For the week, the portfolio is also down, which is also not too bad because the amount is down. It's going to be $2.21, which is roughly 0.15%. Again, not too bad. For the month, the portfolio is up roughly around $16, which represents around a 1% uptick in the portfolio value. Now, if you guys are interested in seeing me going ahead and grow this portfolio to a three-digit portfolio, meaning I'm going to get this to probably about $5,000 or $10,000 in the near future, then that would be a good opportunity for you to go ahead, like the video, and also subscribe to the channel, where I'm going to be showing you per video exactly how I'm doing this, so you guys can learn how to get started with investing. Now, for the 3-month period, the portfolio is up roughly around $110, which represents a 8% uptick in the portfolio. And then year to date, the portfolio is up roughly around the same amount. Now, I like to compare my portfolio to the Spider ETF, and that ticker is going to be SPY. The reason I do that is because the Spider ETF is the benchmark what most investors use to gauge how they themselves are doing compared to the broader market volume. So here we are on the Spider ETF, which gives you 500 of America's best companies. So this is the benchmark that most people use to see how their portfolio is doing. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to the year to date to compare the SPY with my personal portfolio. Now the SPY for the year has been up roughly around 10%, which is about 2% higher than what my portfolio has been doing. Now that is not bad. The difference between the SPY and my portfolio is that the stocks in my portfolio, they also give me a consistent dividend every single month and every single quarter. So that's the major difference here. So the portfolio is not doing too bad. And lastly, for the year, the portfolio is up $116, which represents around 9%. Now, before the end of 2026, I want this portfolio to be up at least 10%. So I'm going to not only stay in line with the Spider ETF, but I will be able to maintain a 10% consistent growth year over year at its minimum. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the stocks I have in my portfolio and how I decided to invest in the stock market. Then I'm going to go through the growth stocks in the portfolio. When I started investing with this portfolio, I decided to separate the portfolio into 3 different categories. The first category I went ahead and got into is going to be the value category. And I went ahead and chose 4 value stocks, which is going to be Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, and Google. The next aspect of the portfolio is going to be the dividend aspect. And once again, I went ahead and I chose 4 different dividend stocks. Those stocks are going to be Realty Income, Altria, Pepsi, and also Chevron to the top. The last sector in the portfolio is going to be known as the growth aspect of the portfolio. And once again, I went ahead and invested into 4 different stocks that I want to get growth from. Those stocks are going to be OSCR Health, New Holden, Bitmine, and also Rigetti Computing. Now, the focus of today's video is going to be these 4 right here. I want to show you guys how the returns has been coming, and I have much less than $500 invested into these 4 stocks. So we're gonna get started with Oscar Health. Okay, so here I am on Oscar Health, and the current share price of Oscar Health is $22.28. So if you were to go ahead and start investing today in Oscar Health, after doing your own due diligence, of course, you would be paying roughly around $22.28. But your question is, I only have $5 in my pocket right now, so what should I do? That is quite simple. You're gonna go ahead and do an investing method which has worked from the beginning of time, and that's gonna be DCA, or dollar cost average. With this investing method, you simply go ahead and contribute a fixed amount on a consistent basis in order for you to grow the portfolio with whatever asset that you choose. So for Oscar Health, for instance, you only have $5. You're going to go ahead and just buy $5 worth of Oscar. That is it. You're going to go ahead and you're going to set a recurring buy on Oscar for how much you think you can afford. And then that is it pretty much. That is going to be on autopilot. I'm going to show you my portfolio right now. So currently, my average cost of Oscar is $14. Although the current share price is $22, I have been doing what I just told you, which is going to be the DCE method, or the dollar cost average method. For the dollar cost average method on Oscar, I have a recurring buy right here of just $10. So anyone that's just starting out right now could be able to afford just $10 on a monthly basis. This is not on a weekly basis, this is on a monthly basis. On a weekly basis, this is going to be $2.50. That is much less than a bus fare. So anyone could go ahead and get started with this. Do not be intimidated by the market. Now, thus far with Oscar in the portfolio, after having the recurring buys, the portfolio is up on Oscar around $48.51, which roughly equates to around 57%, meaning the amount of money I invested in Oscar Health, I have gotten back half that in order to bring my portfolio value to $133. So that's one of the things I wanted to show you for growth aspects in the portfolio. Now, once again, I'm going to show you with Oscar Health. You see the value right here, which is 133. By the DCA method, that is a lot less than $500. Let's go ahead and get into the other growth stock in the portfolio, and that's going to be New Holdings, and the ticker is going to be NU. Now, with New Holdings, the current share price is $13.18. However, my average cost is $15.22. Once again, I'm doing the exact same thing with New Holdings, which is going to be having recurring investments, and the recurring buy is going to be $10 on a monthly basis, which equates to $2.50 on a weekly basis. Thus far, as opposed to Oscar Health, with New, I'm currently down. The amount I'm down is going to be $14, which represents 13% of the portfolio, just for New Holdings only. Now, my total market value after dollar cost averaging into the stock is going to be $90.91. Now, if you were to go ahead and add the amount that's invested into Oscar and the amount that's invested into New, you're going to see once again that's still less than $500 together. Let's go ahead and jump into the third stock that I'm using for growth in the portfolio, and that's going to be Bitmine, and the ticker is going to be BMNR. So here we are on Bitmine, and the current share price is $19.34. However, my average cost is a bit higher at $20.87. I'm employing the exact same strategy with the growth portfolio, in which I'm going dollar cost averaging into the stock, and that amount is just like the previous two, which is going to be only $10. Now, if you guys are a friend of the channel, you guys can see that with the growth stocks in my portfolio, I'm only contributing $10, as opposed to the dividend aspect and the value aspect. I show you guys that I'm contributing way more, because the growth aspect, although you're going to get that exponential growth, these stocks could also go down in value really quickly as fast as they go up. So that's why I'm being very conservative with the amount I'm contributing on a monthly basis. Okay, so with BMNR, this is one of the newest additions to the portfolio. My total market value is $18.53. I'm down $1.47, which represents a 7% on the downside. So if we were to add the three together, which is going to be Oscar Health, New Holdings, and BMNR, you could see the total amount invested is still less than $500. Let's go ahead and get into the last stock I have in the portfolio for growth, and that's going to be Rigetti Computing, and that ticker is RGTI. Okay, so here we are on Rigetti Computing, and the current share price is $25.41. However, my average cost is $17.05, and I'm doing the DCA method on this stock as well. Just like the previous three, I have a recurring investment right here of only $10 a month, and that has given me the results that I have so far. With Rigetti Computing, my total return is $10.02, which represents almost 50% return on my investment. My total investment is $30.45. What I want to show you guys is the numbers right here. These numbers are very small numbers. It's only $30, but I've already been able to get like a 50% return. Do not be afraid to go ahead and get investing today. Do not be intimidated by the amount of money you have. Just go ahead and just get it done. Now, with the four stocks I have in the portfolio that I expect good growth from, Oscar Health, New Holdings, Bitmine, and Rigetti Computing, I'm only using about $275, which is way less than $500. So the whole point of this video is to show you that even if you have less than $500, you could begin investing today. You're gonna get some good growth over time and not overnight. As you can see, with two of my growth stocks, I'm up about 50%, and with two of the growth stocks, I'm down less than 2%. Investing always helps you over time, and it's never gonna help you out overnight. So get in the game, be patient, be consistent, and you're gonna reap the rewards, I guarantee you. Now, I want to hear from you guys before I round up this video. Are you guys investing right now? How much are you investing on a consistent basis? And how much do you intend for your portfolio to grow by the end of 2026? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Now, the whole point of me making this video is that I'm trying my best to give you as much information as I possibly can in order to help you push your investments.